I don't know. Oh no. I don't know how this goes. I don't know what's going on. I really cannot get my head around uh, YouTube live streaming. I wish it was as easy as Instagram. Apparently, uh, I'm streaming stuff, a phone call with Bruno that I had about an hour ago, 20 minutes ago. Why is this not so simple? Why is this so complicated? Let me just type in the chat. Hello. I don't know what's going on. We have failed at the first hurdle, my friends. Uses me. So I'm just throwing something out in the chat because I just don't understand it. So as I was saying, I don't think I've done a public live stream on YouTube before, as you can tell. I've done a couple of little live streams right alongs for my patrons, and I've done plenty of live streams on Instagram. But I'm kind of nervous to be doing this on YouTube because I feel like it's a new audience. I can't really keep an eye on the chat, but I'll do my best. So I don't know who's here, who's watching. Hopefully there's some of you that have come over from Instagram. Maybe there's some of you that don't follow me on Instagram but are subscribed to me on YouTube. In which case, hello. So today I wanted to do 3 poetry exercises for you. I accidentally deleted my poetry exercises video on my YouTube channel, which was one of my videos that a lot of people were responding to, and it took ages to do and a lot of effort. And one night I was sitting in my living room trying to show people the video, my friends the video, and I was streaming it from my phone onto my TV, and I had my videos lined up in a queue, and of course we had got through them all, and so I went to delete from the queue, not knowing that it was actually deleting the video rather than taking it off of the queue list. Because as you can tell, I am not at all um, technically gifted. So before I kind of kick things off, I am just gonna ask that you drop me a message in the chat box just to tell me that this is all kind of going to plan, or if I'm talking to myself right now. I really hope I'm not talking to myself right now, because I've already said a lot and sort of introduced the video. From my end, it appears like I'm not live right now. And if I'm not live right now, that's frustrating. Waiting for Adam Gary to go live. I am live. Am I not live? Have I just said all that and I'm not live? I will have to end the stream and see what's going on. Wait, have I just gone live now? Have I just... Ah, well, that's annoying. I just spent about 5-6 minutes introducing the video, and I wasn't even live. Wait, have I just gone live now? Have I just... Ah, well, that's annoying. I just spent about 5-6 minutes introducing. Okay, apparently now I'm live. I literally just spent 6 minutes introducing the video, and I was just talking to myself, which I thought I would be. So I'm gonna have to do all that again. Hello and welcome to a live stream. I haven't done a public live stream on YouTube ever, as you can see, because everything has already been failing me before I even went live. It took ages to kind of get it all set up. Anyway, hello, welcome to my quarantine sort of poetry exercises for anyone that is sitting around the house and bored and wants to get into poetry maybe. Hopefully I've got some viewers from Instagram that are watching right now, because they are my safety blanket. I've done a lot of live streams on Instagram before, but not on YouTube, so it kind of feels like there might be a new audience here. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Yeah. Anyway, I literally spent about 6 minutes introducing the video nicely, to then realise that it wasn't happening, it wasn't working. But hopefully we're all up and running. I don't know if this is mirrored, but there should be a chat box here where I'm pointing, or it's on this side here. Please do kind of send messages in the chat box. That's the whole point of this exercise, this video, to kind of communicate with each other, I guess, and just have some fun. So if you're here, drop a comment in the chat box. Let me know you're here. Let me know who's here, who's watching, and then kind of once we get to know each other, I guess. I mean, we don't need full introductions, I guess, but just so I know that I'm not actually talking to myself right now. Once people start dropping in a hello or a hi in the chat box, we'll get started with the first exercise. As I said in my initial introduction, I was hoping to do 3 exercises today, but I couldn't find enough. I did have... I can't even remember what I've said now that has been in this stream or was in the stream before this, before it went live. It's all very confusing. But I did have an exercise video on my channel, but I accidentally deleted it because I'm a fool. So the 2 exercises I've got coming up for this live stream were in that video. So if you saw that video, unfortunately, you're not going to learn anything new in this live stream. But if you take part anyway, you're going to get a different poem out of it. You're going to get some new similes out of it anyway. And then at the end of the video, we're going to write a poem together. If people are actually here watching, we're going to write a poem together. I'm just keeping an eye on my phone in case anyone texts me saying that there's something wrong with the stream. We're going to write a poem at the end of the stream. We're going to do a line by line. I don't know if anyone's ever played anything similar to that, where I will kind of write the opening line and then we will go in order of whoever's here. In Instagram, I can see who's actually watching the video. I don't think I can do that here. So if you want to take part at the end of the video, you're going to have to let me know you're here watching so that I can kind of organize the order of contribution, if that makes sense. Can everyone hear me? Can everyone see me? I'm not getting any messages in the chat box, so hopefully I'm not talking to myself. I am going to have a sip of whiskey if you don't mind, because it's the apocalypse. It's all very quiet. Hopefully, I'm not making a fool of myself right now. I see that there's 4 viewers, but I don't know if you're still looking at a preview image or if you're actually watching me. Um, yes. Yes. Let me have a look at this a second. Okay. It says everything's all good. I'm not getting any messages saying that it's not working. So, yes. It says I got excellent connection. So, moving forward, obviously, if you're watching this, I assume you're watching this because you want to write some poetry. So, of course, you're going to need a notepad and pen. So, make sure you've got a notepad and pen with you. And I guess we'll just kind of kick off with the first exercise. Yes. That's my... Oh, wait. My microphone's right here. If you just got me crunching my ice cube in your ear if you're wearing headphones, I'm very sorry. That was not very thoughtful of me. Okay, so I'm going to just... I'm not getting any response in the chat box, but I'm not getting any messages saying that this isn't working either. So I'm going to assume that it's working. So I am going to kick off the first exercise, which is making similes. Again, if you watched my video on my channel, sorry, I am just checking my text to make sure I'm not people aren't saying that it's not working. So if you watch my exercise video, it got deleted about 2 weeks ago. So if you was a subscriber before then, hopefully you saw it. The next exercise is making similes. Basically, what you want to do is you want to go out for a walk and kind of just observe what's going on around you and make similes out of it. If you don't know what a simile is, it's basically taking something you see and comparing it to something else. So I've just thrown that up. Hopefully that works. There wasn't much of a transition there. Usually, yeah, never mind. It doesn't matter. It's all a learning curve. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm peaking again. That's because that's getting closer to me. I'll turn my levels down. So look for a book of... I can't even read it from here. Look for a book of poems you like and find a few similes to use as inspiration. You don't have to do that right now. You can do that later because obviously you're sitting here in front of a computer or a phone. Now it says, now go someplace where you can observe nature, people, traffic, or something. Based on what you notice, begin listing some similes. They don't have to make complete sense. Don't think about what else you would write with them. Just write whatever you think of. With most exercises that are designed to just get you writing, it's really important not to overthink things. Just write down whatever first comes to your mind. For example, her voice whose sound was like the sea. So you take something, a woman's voice, and compare it to something completely unrelated. Her voice whose sound was like the sea. That was Shakespeare, if anyone was wondering. So, lucky for you, we're all in quarantine. The UK is now shut down, but we are allowed to go outside once a day for one bit of exercise. So, lucky for you, I went out and filmed a walk. So, I'm going to show you my walk. I filmed it for you. And then I just want you to kind of start making similes based on what you see on my walk. So, yes, don't worry, I did take precautions. So here's that walk. Okay, for this exercise, I did use up my daily single exercise and went on my walk. But don't worry, I did take precautions. Okay. So there was one comment from Delgo regarding the comments. For some reason, the comment section on my laptop isn't working. So what I've had to do is kind of open it up on my phone and rest it on my laptop screen so I can keep up with the comments that way. It's all very complicated. But yeah, there was one comment that's saying, how long is this video? So I've actually cut the video short. Hopefully you kind of got some similes out of that video. I didn't actually write any similes whilst I was on the walk. I was just kind of filming it and enjoying the walk. But yeah, I'm just looking at the comments. How long is this video? So hopefully you got some nice similes out of it. Feel free, actually, I want to read your similes that you got from that video. You can see on the screen now, I was just watching the video and kind of got a couple of similes from it. Not a lot, because I'm kind of, my eyes are everywhere. I'm trying to keep this moving smoothly and read the comments at the same time. But yes, the similes that I got were, and don't forget, these aren't going to be perfect. The whole point of these exercises is to kind of take you out of your head and just write down the first thing that comes to your mind. So these aren't that great, but I got the similes that I got, and I'm going to keep an eye on the comment section. Please do share the similes that you wrote down for that video. The similes that I got whilst watching that was a mudded path like a heart beaten by many boots. Sparrow's song as sweet as candy floss. Again, the first thing that comes to mind. It's not meant to be perfect. The roar of traffic as prominent as the earth's cries. I tried to write something about the rippling of the water, but that's when I started reading the comments and got distracted. So if you got anything for the rippling of the water, I'd love to see what your similes were for the rippling of the water. As you can see, I just put water rippling like the birds flying like a trapped soul, finally finding its wings. Nelly Strand sent a message, but it's been retracted. Unfortunately, I didn't see your message, Nelly. I guess you deleted it for a reason, but I'm afraid I didn't catch it. So yeah, I'd love to see some of your similes before we move on to the next exercise. I'm getting a lot of emails coming through all of a sudden. The pale sun was like her smile, warm and gentle. Ooh, I like it. The pale sun was like her smile, warm and gentle. That is beautiful. The ripples of the water are like the floating clouds on a winter's night. Nice. I do not want to think about winter right now. I am enjoying spring. Spring is upon us, very much so. But very nice simile. Oh, yes. Are there any more similes before I move on? I really like those. The pale sun was like her smile, warm and gentle. The ripples of the water are like the floating clouds on a winter's night. Very nice indeed. Let me see where we stand with this. So the next exercise is quite a complex exercise. You will need a notepad and pen for the next exercise. The tree branches reaching for her like the arms of her lover. Very nice. The tree branches reaching for her like the arms of her lover. The pale sun was like her smile, warm and gentle. The ripples of the water are like the floating clouds on a winter's day. The tree branches reaching for her like the arms of her lover. Very nice indeed. So, yeah, before we move on to the next exercise, it's going to be quite complex, as I said. So you will need a pen and paper. So if you just let me know in the comments when you've got your pen and paper, I will move on to exercise 3. Her reflection in the water sparkling like the sun's beams. Very nice. Very nice. I didn't get anything for the water. I'm sure there's so many nice similes for the water, but I got distracted because the chat box wasn't working for me on my end. I'm ready. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at exercise number 3 then. Again, if you saw my exercise video that was on YouTube before I deleted it. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, never mind. It's not that big of a deal. If you saw my exercise video before I deleted it, you will recognize this one. I've already written a poem, and maybe you've already written a poem from this exercise, but try to think of new answers. I will try to think of new answers. I am just going to set something up for a second, if you give me 2 seconds. If you just... Oh, no. That wasn't supposed to... Okay, I can't do it. There may be a black screen for 2 seconds, but please bear with me. I will sort something out. But I'm still here. Hopefully, audio-wise, you can still hear me. Sorry about these. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, hopefully now that'll come back to me for 2 seconds. So, yes, I'm gonna write this alongside you guys. I'm gonna try and come up with some new answers than the ones that I did for my YouTube video. But let's just go through it really quickly. I'm going to assume that you've got a pen and paper, and let's give this a go. So I stole this off of Cat Cool or Cat Cooley. I'm still not sure how to pronounce the name, so I'm really sorry. She went to a poetry workshop, I think, and she did this in a poetry workshop and did a video about it, and I thought it was really kind of cool. So let me see if I can grab this up and put it, because it's really small on my screen, I can't read it. So let me get the original picture up. There we go. Okay, cool. So as always with poetry exercises, as I said with the similes, don't think about it too much. Just write down the first thing that comes to your mind as best you can. Obviously, some of these things do get a little bit complicated and do take a little bit of thinking, but don't overthink is what I'm trying to say. So, take out a pen and paper, write down 1 to 11. Write down 1 to 11 on your pen, on your piece of paper. And let me know in the chat box to the bottom. At the bottom, I don't know if you're watching from a mobile or a laptop. If you're watching from a mobile, it'll be right at the bottom. If you're watching from a laptop, it should be in the right hand side of the screen. Let me know once you've written 1 to 11 and I will move on. The last thing I want to do is kind of move on too fast for everyone and they can't keep up. So if you can just let me know when you've done that. Done. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so number 1. I mean, it's on the screen. So if you do kind of get lost a little bit or I get ahead of you, it should be on the screen to my left. I don't know if this is mirrored right now. Uh, anyway, number one, write down 5 objects that you see every day and the order in which you see them. So write down 5 objects that you see every day and write them in the order that you see them. Five objects that you see every day and the order in which you see them. I'll just give you a second to do that. 5 objects that you see every day and the order in which you see them. Okay, number 2. Write down 3, and don't forget to number these. Number 2. Write down 3 non-primary colours. So shades of colour. So don't write down green, blue, red, yellow. Write down the shades of colour. So lavender, cyan, moss green, that sort of thing. Write down 3 shades of colour. Again, the first thing that comes to your mind. Grey, don't use grey. That's, I would say, okay, it could be argued, but I don't know. And don't write dark blue, dark green sort of thing. Try and be really specific if you can, like olive green, moss green, lavender, cyan. I'm saying all the same words. No, I won't say that. 3 shades of colour. Magnolia, charcoal, that sort of thing. I'm sure you get the picture. Okay, number 4. Number 4. Write down an experience that you had as a child that made you angry at the time or still makes you angry. Either one. An experience that you had as a child that made you angry at the time or now, or it still makes you angry. And by the way, this could get pretty personal, depending on how personal you want to get. But this could get pretty personal, but that's okay. I mean, if you don't feel like you want to take part in this exercise, you don't have to. But it could get personal, and that's what makes poetry so great, is kind of sharing your soul and opening up and being really vulnerable. So write down an experience that you had as a child that made you angry at the time or still makes you angry now. Number 5, write down a forbidden thought related to love. Write down a forbidden thought. So something that you think about love, related to love, something that you think about love that is a bit forbidden, something that, you wouldn't say out loud or you wouldn't say to your lover or whatever. A forbidden thought related to love. Something that you think about love, but you know that society says you shouldn't really be thinking that. Write down a thought forbidden. Write down a forbidden thought related to love. Number 6. 3 questions to which you've never found the answer. Write down 3 questions that you have that you've never been able to find the answer to. That's quite an easy one, hopefully. 3 questions to which you've never found the answer. Write down 3 questions which you've never been able to find the answer to. With it being poetry, I think that could be like theoretical questions as well, probably. Okay, let me know in the chat box if I'm moving through these too quickly, and I'll slow down. Number 7, I think. Write something about yeah. Number 7. Write something about love that you find boring. Write something down that you find boring about love. Write something down that you find boring about love. Before I move on, I'm just going to wait for Anelli and Delgal to let me know if they're all caught up, because I don't want to be moving too quickly. So let me know if you're all caught up, and I will move on to 8, 9, 10, and 11. Doodly-doo-doo. Done. Cool. So let's move on to number 8. Write down 3 slant rhymes. Slant rhymes are near rhymes, so something that sounds similar but not an identical rhyme. For example, dot and pot are not slant rhymes, they are identical rhymes. You want to find words that have the same sort of nouns, I guess. Near rhymes, words that nearly rhyme with each other. Close but not quite. I know that's quite a difficult one for you, so I'm going to give you a moment to do that. And I'm going to stretch. 3 slant rhymes. 3 near rhymes. Sorry, I was just quickly checking up on some stuff. Hopefully that wasn't too distracting. Okay, done with the slant rhymes. Okay, write down 3 things that people have said to you in the last 48 hours. Write down 3 things that people have said to you in the last 48 hours. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. We're nearly at the creative part. We're nearly at the creative part, my friends. I know this has taken a while, but it does get a good poem out of you, trust me. Are you sure, Lol? Yeah, I promise. I promise. We're nearly there. As I say, it does get a good poem out of you, so just bear with me, please. So write down 3 things that people have said to you in the last 48 hours. Number 10, write down 3 transitional objects that have gotten you through life. Write down 3 transitional objects that have gotten you through life. So material objects that have helped you transition in different parts of your life. So like a stuffed toy when you was a kid got you through some rough times. Stuff like that. I think in my YouTube video I used the example, it's such a basic example, but I used stuff like a driver's license, etc. So write down 3 transitional objects that have gotten you through life. And then we've got one more, and then it's the creative part. I know it's taken a long time, but it'll be worth it. 3 transitional objects that have gotten you through life. And you don't have to still have these objects. They can be objects that, as I said, a stuffed teddy bear or something that got you from childhood to teenage years, or a blanket that got you through your parents' separation, or something like that. And number 11 is the easy one. If you had a rock band, write down the name of what you'd call your rock band. What would be the name of your rock band if you had a rock band? I said rock band about 10 times. So you should have uh, number 1, 5 objects that see you. I mean, it's on the screen. It is mirrored. It's on the screen. You can see it, but 5 objects that you see every day and order in which you see them. 3 non-primary colors. An object that you have encountered in a dream. An experience that you had as a child that made you angry at the time or now. Write down a forbidden thought related to love. 3 questions to which you've never found the answer. Write something about love you find boring. 3 near rhymes. Write down 3 things that people have said to you in the last 48 hours. Probably not very much. We're all on lockdown. Write down 3 transitional objects that have gotten you through life. And if you had a rock band, what would the name of that rock band be? I am going to now, I'm going to throw this up. I'm going to start writing my poem. Oh wait, no, I need to give you the instructions first. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Okay, so the instructions. You've got everything written down. So write these down. Number 11, the name of your rock band, is going to be the title of your poem. So write that at the top of your page. Number 11 is the title of your poem. The first line of your poem is number 6. The first line of your poem is number 6. So write down number 6 as your first line. That's your opening line of the poem. I don't know why I keep saying that. You're not. I'm sure you're all clever people. The last line of your poem is number 9. The last line of your poem is number 9. So write your number 9 at the bottom of your page. Number 9 is your last line. I like that. Number 9 is your last line. In the middle of your poem, is number 5, a forbidden thought related to love. The middle of your poem is number 5. Somewhere in your poem, wherever you decide to include it, is a combination of 4 and 7. You need to find a way of taking 4 and 7, it doesn't matter which way round, but just take 4 and 7 and turn it into a single thought or a single sentence. Combine them together. Somewhere in your poem, again, wherever you decide to put it, is a combination of 2 and 8. Take 2 and 8, whichever way round, and make it a single thought, one sentence. Unfortunately, Catcooley doesn't give any further instructions, which is why the numbers are in green, because the ones that are in black are the ones that we don't have instructions. So I can only assume that 1, 3 and 10 go wherever you think they fit best. I'm going to throw the instructions up on the screen, and I'm going to give you a little while. I'll try and play some music, or maybe not. I'll let you play your own music because I don't want to distract you. And I'm also going to write a poem with this now, and I'm going to try and write something completely different than what I wrote for my YouTube video. So hopefully you're all with me. Hopefully you're all caught up. I'm going to turn the camera off now, and you'll just see the instructions. And I will give you maybe 5-10 minutes to do this. So I'll see you soon. Okay, I think we just lost everyone during that exercise. No one. I think it might have been a bit too long-winded. Um, so if anyone's still there, let me know. I think we literally just lost everyone. Maybe that was a mistake trying to do that one. But you live and learn these things. So, yeah, maybe we will have to call it a day there, I think, if everyone has disappeared and there's no more viewers. We've actually already been live for an hour. That's kind of crazy. I haven't even started writing this poem yet because Delgare was complaining that I guess you're watching on your phone, so obviously the screen it was small, and I think we've just lost everyone. Oh, Anelli, no, it was good. Okay, good. I was kind of worried because I just saw the numbers dropping off. And I'm just at the minute trying to make sure everyone's got the instructions. So if you want to move on to the next exercise, I've got one more exercise left to do. We can. If you're happy to kind of carry on with this one, we can do that too. It's up to you. I'm sorry if that was boring, everyone. I was just trying to make sure that we were still all the. I don't know. I was just trying to make sure everyone had the instructions. Excuse me. It made a good poem. Anelli, if you wrote a poem, would you be willing to share it with us? Would you be willing to share it with us? Unfortunately, I think Delgirl can't read the instructions, and I haven't had time to start writing it. So maybe if you're happy to share a poem with us, I'd love to read it, but I jumped the rhymes. That's fine, no problem. If you're happy to share it with us, I'd love you to put it in the box and I can read it. And then we'll move on to the last exercise. As I say, we've been live for an hour already, so we'll move on to the last exercise, which is going to be a lot more fun and a lot faster paced. And then that'll be it, I guess. We'll finish it there. Whee! Hey Bruno, I missed the beginning. You missed the beginning, man. You've missed most of the stream. But you know what? You're awesome. It's only because of you that we can actually do this stream, so it's all good. Did I miss the video you made? You did miss the video I made, I'm afraid, Bruno. And Ellie's going to share us a poem, hopefully, if she's willing to do that. Bearing in mind, Anelli, that you can only write, I think it's 200 words in the chat. I think the chat limit is 200 words. Let me have a look. Yeah, it's 200 words, so you might have to do it in sections. If you're willing to share it. I don't know. Maybe you're not willing to share it, and that's totally fine because poetry is personal. Damn, you have to send it to me later. I will try. I had a bit of technical difficulty, and I'm pretty sure I live streamed our phone call, Bruno. Pretty sure I live streamed our phone call. I don't know why. It's not on my OBS. It's I don't know. I don't know why it streamed our phone call, but it did, I think. OMG. No, art is meant to be shared. I'm not sure our phone call is art, but okay. You now must share it. I didn't write a poem. I didn't have a chance to write the poem for the latest exercise. But we went from like 5, 6 viewers down to 1. So I kind of thought it might be. I will share, but I think I send it to you later because it is long. Sure, no problem, no problem. Okay, let's move on to the last exercise then. Which is not that. Oh no, where's it gone? So we're going to all write a poem together. If you want to take part in this exercise, I do ask that you just kind of say me. Sorry, Adam, I've given up on this. That's fine. Maybe it was a bit too complicated. That's my fault. If you want to take part in this last exercise, if you can just say me in the chat box so I know. Basically, we're going to all write a poem together, but we're going to do it line by line. So this is what I do with my patrons in my write along on Patreon. Hey, that rhymes. we're going to write a poem together line by line. So I will write the opening line, then say Delgel will write the next line, then Anelli, then Bruno, until we come to a conclusion. So if you want to take part in this last exercise before I take off, just say me in the chat box so I can organise the running order. Me. Okay, Anelli, that's me and you so far. Me, at least until the bank picks up. Been on hold for 2 hours. Oh my goodness. Okay, cool. So far the running order is me, Anelli, Bruno, and hopefully Delgel. And then we're all taking part, I guess. Also, by the way, if you're a YouTube subscriber, we've hit 200 subscribers during the live stream. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Delgel, me. Okay, cool. So I'm going to write a line. I'm going to type it on my screen. I think I'm sharing my screen right now. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so I'm going to type a line. Hopefully you can see it. If not, I'm going to put it in the chat anyway, so don't worry. I'm going to type a line. Then Anelli, you're going to type a line. Then Bruno's going to type a line. Then Delgel's going to type a line. And basically, we're all going to write a poem. And it will just go in a circle until the poem sort of naturally comes to an end. So does anyone have a word prompt or a theme that they want this poem to be on? Someone just give me some random word that would make a good poem that they want to write a poem about. Nice, 200 club. Yes, we hit 200. Thank you. Thank you to everyone that's subscribed. And cheers. I hope that this has kept you occupied for an hour and you haven't been rocking backwards and forwards in isolation. So yeah, if anyone's got a word that we can use, that we can center this poem around, just throw it in the chat box. I will write the opening line to the poem. Then Anelli will go after me. Loincloths, okay. Loincloths. That is the most random prompt I think I've ever had. Kindness. I tell you what, let's go with kind loincloths. Okay, trust you, Bruno. Loincloths. Okay, we're going to write a poem about kind loincloths. I've never known such a prompt. Okay, let's have a go at this. Let's see what we can do. You're all really talented, so I'm sure we can get a good poem out of this. Anelli, what the heck is a loincloth, Bruno? So a loincloth is something that a man wears over his groin. So if you've seen Tarzan, the thing that he wears over his man bits, his groin, that's a loincloth. Alright, let's do this. Okay, let me think of an opening line. Okay, so the opening line is, the sun broke through the vines that summer morning. I'm going to throw it in the chat right now, just so everyone can see it. The sun broke through the vines that summer morning. So, Bruno, you shouldn't have opened that box. I don't know how we're going to do a poem about this, but that's the fun part about poetry exercises. The sun broke through the vines that summer morning. So, Anelli, if you write a line that follows on from my line, then Bruno, I think it was, wasn't it? And then Delgo. The sun broke through the vines that summer morning. And if you don't mind, I'm going to quickly take an Instagram story selfie. That's not going to work. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. All right, let me get the chat back up. Sorry, I haven't got the chat open. Where are you? There we go. Shining. Here we go. Shining onto bodies tangled together. Ooh, shining onto bodies tangled together. Delgo says, Bruno, be kind to me as I have to write a line after you. So far our poem reads, the sun broke through the vines that summer morning, shining onto bodies tangled together. So it's Bruno's turn to throw a line down. I can't wait to see what Bruno has to say. And then Delgo. The sun broke through the vines that summer morning, shining onto bodies tangled together. Nice alliteration. Oh, I can only imagine what Bruno's going to say now. And I felt the breeze due to the fair weather. And I felt the breeze due to the fair weather. The sun broke through the vines that summer morning, shining onto bodies tangled together, and I felt the breeze due to the fair weather. I can't believe I'm sitting here writing a poem about kind loincloths. I'm not a poet, sorry, Adam. Listen, we're all poets now. We're all poets here, my friend. Don't worry about it. Anyway, what you were even apologising for? Actually, I've copied your thing wrong. I need to put in the speech marks. The breeze. The breeze. And I felt the breeze due to the fair weather. The sun broke through the vines that summer morning, shining onto bodies tangled together, and I felt the breeze due to the fair weather. Bruno, you're the man. You're the man. Bruno's the man. I just don't know how we're gonna turn this round onto kind loincloths. Whistling through the loincloth. Whistling through the loincloth. Okay. The sun broke through the vines that summer morning, shining onto bodies tangled together, and I felt the breeze due to the fair weather, whistling through the loincloth. And I looked down, and I looked down, and I looked down, and I looked down. And I looked down upon a smiling loincloth. And I looked down upon a smiling loincloth. Sorry, Anneli, I don't know how you're going to follow that one up. And I looked down upon a smiling loincloth. I'm getting a lot of emails. And I looked down upon a smiling loincloth. The sun broke through the vines that summer morning, shining onto bodies tangled together, and I felt the breeze due to the fair weather, whistling through the loincloth. And I looked down upon a smiling loincloth. Oh wait, I used loincloth twice. Okay. It doesn't matter. These exercises aren't designed to be perfect. I mean, usually you wouldn't use the same word in 2 consecutive sentences. But who cares, right? Haha, love it. Bruno, what have you done? What have you done to us, Bruno? We're literally sitting here writing a poem about loincloths. The sun broke through the vines that summer morning, shining onto bodies tangled together, and I felt the breeze, due to the fair weather, whistling through the loincloth. And I looked down upon a smiling loincloth. I'm trying to turn it onto kind. And I shivered as I knew that it was me that made it. Oh no. And I shivered as I knew that it was me that made it smile. This is just getting really awkward now. The sun broke through the vines that summer morning, shining onto bodies tangled together, and I felt the breeze due to the fair weather, whistling through the loincloth. And I looked down upon a smiling loincloth, and I shivered as I knew that it was me that made it smile. Adam, what should I do? You weren't nice. I'm sorry, I gave you an awkward line. I'm sorry. I just don't know where this is going now. Bruno, now behave with your line. Bruno, behave with your line. Oh, I don't even know what to say. Someone asked me on my Facebook whether this was child friendly, and I said it was. I don't know if this is now. Oh well, there's only the 3 of us anyway. Now we smile at each other awkwardly, hoping it doesn't turn hostile. Bruno is making an effort to make some rhymes. I like it. Now we smile at each other awkwardly, hoping it doesn't turn hostile. No, since it's Bruno in charge of the pen, not safe for work poems. Oh man, this is why I love Bruno. You're the man. You really are the man. Look what you've done. Okay, so far it reads like this. We're still waiting for Del Girl's line, but so far it reads like this. The sun broke. My rhyming is terrible, but rhymes are fun. No, it's not. You got it. You got it down, man. You got it down. Don't say that. Don't put yourself down. The sun broke through the vines that summer morning, shining onto bodies tangled together, and I felt the breeze due to the fair weather, whistling through the loincloth. And I looked down upon a smiling loincloth. I suppose it was me that took it there, I guess. And I shivered as I knew that it was me that made it smile. Now we smile at each other awkwardly, hoping it doesn't turn hostile. Oh, please don't say anything about beating it. Together we feel a kindness come upon us, jump in the lake. What? Together we feel a kindness come upon us, and we jump into the lake. Oh, I see, you're getting the kindness in, okay. Never did I feel so thankful to have a kind and loving loincloth. Okay, let me type my line into the chat and then I'll read the poem back. Never did I feel so thankful to have such a kind. This is so weird. Okay, never, I'm going to change it. Never did I feel so thankful to have such a kind and loving loincloth. All right, let's try and make this the last verse and wrap the poem up. So it reads like this. The sun broke through the vines that summer morning, shining onto bodies tangled together, and I felt the breeze due to the fair weather, whistling through the loincloth. And I looked down upon a smiling loincloth, and I shivered as I knew that it was me that made it smile. Now we smile at each other awkwardly, hoping it doesn't turn hostile. Together we feel a kindness come upon us and jump into the lake. Never did I feel so thankful to have such a kind and loving loincloth. This is the weirdest thing I've ever wrote. The sun broke through the vines that summer morning, shining onto bodies tangled together. What happened to the other I don't even know what happened to the other person. It says here shining onto bodies tangled together. What happened to the other person? It just became about this man and his loincloth. Covering the parts I was too shy to reveal. Okay. Okay, let's wrap this poem up here. The sun broke through the vines that summer morning, shining onto bodies tangled together, and I felt the breeze, due to the fair weather, whistling through the loincloth. And I looked down upon a smiling loincloth, and I shivered as I knew that it was me that made it smile. Now we smile at each other awkwardly. Okay, there are still two people here, hoping it doesn't turn hostile. Together we feel a kindness come upon us and jump into the lake. Never did I feel so thankful to have such a kind and loving loincloth, covering the parts I was too shy to reveal. This is so weird. Bruno, man, you crack me up every day of the week. Forgetting the others that the loincloths do not appeal. Forgetting the others. Forgetting. Oh, hang on. What? To that the loincloths do not appeal. Forgetting the others. To that the loincloths do not appeal. Okay. Forgetting the others. Ah. The others. To that the loincloths do not appeal. Never did I feel so thankful to have such a kind and loving loincloth, covering the parts I was too shy to reveal. Forgetting the others, to that the loincloths do not appeal. Tell girl, what? What? Forgetting the others, to that the loincloths do not appeal. So it's basically saying, forgetting about the people that don't like loincloths. Oh, I just thought of a concluding line, but it's very not safe for work. This spiraled out of control so quickly. I've decided to throw the bloody thing away and join a needs colony. What's a needs colony? I decided to throw the bloody thing away. No, it just shows that you can make poems about anything. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Nude, sorry, PR text. I've decided to throw the bloody thing away. Oh, bloody thing away and join a nudes colony. Alright, people. Well, we have a poem about kind loincloths as prompted by Bruno, and it reads like this. The sun broke through the vines that summer morning, shining onto bodies tangled together, and I felt the breeze, due to the fair weather, whistling through the loincloth. And I looked down upon a smiling loincloth, and I shivered as I knew that it was me that made it smile. Now we smile at each other awkwardly, hoping it doesn't turn hostile. Together we feel a kindness come upon us and jump into the lake. Never did I feel so thankful to have such a kind and loving loincloth, covering the parts I was too shy to reveal. Forgetting the others, to that the loincloths do not appeal, I decided to throw the bloody thing away and join a nudes colony. Yes. Okay. Anyway, that concludes our live stream. Hopefully this kept you entertained for an hour and a half now. We're on an hour and 26 minutes. Hopefully that kept you entertained during your self-isolation and quarantine. I realised that the second exercise was a bit long-winded and we did end up forgetting it. So I apologise about that. We lost almost all of our viewers by doing that. But Bruno came along and saved the day and gave us a poem about kind loincloths. Thank you so much for taking part, and thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being sensible and staying inside and keeping isolated. These are crazy times, unprecedented times, but we are doing what is necessary. Please don't go out, and if you do, look after yourself and the people around you. Stay 2 meters away, and I will see you very soon, I'm sure. I'm sure I'll see you on Instagram in about 5 minutes when I get bored and need something to do again. Thank you so much again, and I will see you very, very soon.